In this video, I'm going to be talking about 7 of the new rackets that are going to be released next year in 2025. So, with these new rackets, this is all going to be brand new lines from the manufacturers, and I'm excited for most of them. This racket right here, the reason I have this with me, this is the Gravity 98 Tour. So this is a prototype test model that Head sent out that I was lucky enough to be able to get. So I'm testing that out right now. I will have a review on that soon, but that leads me into the first line of rackets that's coming out, which is going to be the Gravities. So we have the Gravity line. We are going to get a brand new cosmetic. It is not going to be this kind of all black colorway, but just in general, the new Gravities. I don't think there's much change in terms of actual material being made, but they are coming out with a new fresh colorway that I will say I've seen it. It looks amazing in my opinion. So the Gravities is going to look very nicely, and I can't wait for that to come out. This is a very interesting racket to play with, especially since Head has never had a 98 in the Gravity before, but I did have to alter it a little bit, and like I said, I'll have a review on that probably coming up here soon, so be on the lookout for that one. So, number 2, we'll stick with the Head theme, is going to be the Head Radical. Now, the Head Radical line, this one, again, I don't really think there's much of a difference in terms of technology that's coming out. It may just be a color update. I have not seen the exact spec sheet from Head themselves. However, the Radical, they are changing up the color again, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say what it is, but again, this one, I'm personally not as excited for. I like the look of the new Gravities a lot better than the Radical. Now, personally, I'm just not that much of an orange guy myself, but to each their own. So the Radical, that one is actually going to be the one that's going to take one of the longest to actually get through. That is going to come out around in March, I believe. Most all the other rackets on this list is going to be coming out around January, usually mid-January, I think. The 15th is definitely a day to watch out for, so be on the lookout. And then finally, there's one more from Head. So there's a lot of rackets here from Head, just in general. We have the Instinct. I know you're probably confused too. They're like, why are they still using the Instinct? And well, the Instinct is still a great racket line to pair up against it because it was the original predecessor from the Boom that took on the Babolat Pure Drive, the Wilson Ultra, and other stuff like that. And it was just a good racket to go against those. But now it's just kind of more so Head's just intermediate to lower cost racket to where you can still get a very good feel and very good playability out of it rather than just going all the way up to the $250 or $270 for a brand new racket. That Instinct is that kind of buffer in between. So you can still have a good quality racket rather than just going full price if you're like, I don't even know if I'll even keep playing tennis. So we have the Gravity, we have the Radical, and the Instinct, and that should do it all for Head as far as I know. Now, I did mention one more here before. Coming up 2025, we have another blue one. We have the Pure Drive. So 2025 being the year of the Pure Drive, this racket, I gotta say, it is going to be a little bit different. I believe what Babolat has done with the Pure Drive line is that they have made it a little bit easier on the arm. They've got to a little bit more of an actual I won't say they've gotten rid of all the stiffness because that's kind of what Babolat's known for, is they're stiffer, more powerful rackets. However, the Pure Drive in the new version, from everything I've heard, I haven't got to hit with it yet, is that it is going to be a little bit easier on the arm compared to previous versions. So that does tend to be kind of a trend that I see with most manufacturers. The newer rackets, they're not made like the old ones to where they're a little bit stiffer. They're a little bit more kind of a dense material. They're usually a lot more flexible, a lot more easier on the arm. And something to just note is that the Pure Drive in itself, they're not really making the old ones anymore. So if you have the 2021, 2022 version of it right now, if you like that version and you don't want to go to a new one, you may want to get that as quickly as you can because they are not really going to be making that anymore. So whatever shop you see, if they have that, that's probably all that they have. They may get one more shipment, but it's not going to be a lot, especially before that January timeline when the new one launches. Now, speaking of other rackets that are easier on the arm that are coming out, you have the brand new Wilson Clash. Now, the Wilson Clash, one thing about this is that you gotta know, the Wilson Clash version 2, most people hate. Most people, if you played with the version 1 of the Clash, you did not like the version 2. Just from the many people that I've talked to that have play tested it, they've demoed version 1 versus version 2, you didn't like version 2. It wasn't that good compared to version 1. So, Wilson actually listened. And they went and made Clash version 3. They're making it more like version 1, so it is going to be a little bit more of a just kind of back to that familiar feeling rather than just having it try and fix version 2. They just went back to what worked, and then they enhanced whatever feedback they originally had from version 1, and now that's what they're making with version 3. The colorway on that looks sick. I can't wait for that one. It looks so much better than any other Clash has, in my opinion, and that one I'm very excited for. Now, you may know what I'm about to say next, because this is probably one of the bigger ones. Again, if you can tell by my marker, it's blue. You may know. But this one is going to be the Eone. The new Eone from Yonex, that racket is coming out 2025, all around the same time, so it is something to be mindful of. You're getting an update to it. The Aquanite version, it was not an update, it was just a cosmetic change to the current version of the Eone that's out there. Again, with this, you may want to get this racket if you can, because I don't really think that they're going to be making more of this older version. At least that's what I've heard as of right now. It is something just to get and hold on to if you really like that version of the frame, rather than just hoping that they'll become more discounted around January when that launches. And then finally, we have the SX 300s from Dunlop. So the SX line, we have Dunlop's just new edition, not new edition, but the update to their spin racket frames. I don't remember if it was the CX or the FX, the control or the power versions that just most recently had the update. So the SX was due. You can find a lot of those SX rackets at like $99 or $79 brand new. So if you like rackets that are very similar to the Pure Aero and you just want it to not be as hard on your arm and just be a little bit cheaper, the SX line is definitely something to look into. I personally like using the SX line. And then they do have different options from the Tour, which is a 98 head size and a 16-19, as well as the regular 300, which is just a 100 16x19, just like the normal Pure Aero. So these are pretty much the big main releases that are coming out in January. Again, the Radical's coming out in March. And one other one that I've heard about, I don't know when it's going to launch because there's no official launch date for it, but we'll put 8 here with an asterisk. It is going to be, I'll move this out of the way, we'll just say Solenko. Because Solenko, and I know I wrote it right in the light, I'm sorry, but Solenko, they are getting it to where they're about to come out with version 2s of both the whiteout and the blackout. So that is something to know, and as they have told me, they are coming out a little bit sooner. I don't know if it's going to be in 2025's January, but we shall see. Oh, I forgot. There's one more. Sorry, Solenko, but there's one more. There's number 9, which is the new T-Fight. So the new TF40, that one from Technofiber, that just came out, I believe it was either earlier this month or last month, kind of came in, flew under the radar. Not as many people were as hyped about that one, but Technofiber is launching a brand new series of T-Fight rackets that is coming also next year in 2025. I believe it is still in the January timeline. Again, the Radical is really the only one that is kind of missing out from this. And then the Solinco kind of here at the to be decided. But these are the main racket lines that are coming out brand new 2025. I'm excited for them. If you use any one of these rackets or you're excited for the new versions of your specific racket, comment down below which one you have and which one you're wanting to try, or which one you're wanting to demo to see if they change anything different. The one I'd say probably that's going to have the most change to it is going to be the Clash, going back to version 1. So that'll be a very nice thing to have, especially if you've had arm issues, as well as just a cool, brand new, awesome colorway that I think is going to look so much better than any other Clash has before. So, with that being said, Gravity, Radical, Instinct, Pure Drive, Clash, Eone, SX300, Solinco, and the T-Fight. If you like this video, leave a like on it. Comment down below any more questions you may have about these rackets when they're coming out. I'll try and answer them as best as I can. I don't know everything about them. I just know these are the top ones that are coming out right now and that are scheduled to come out around January of next year. So be on the lookout, as well as subscribe to the channel so that we can grow this channel, get the information out there from the people that have it to the people that need it. There's a lot of tennis misinformation in the tennis community, so I took it upon myself to make this channel so that we can get rid of that and just know that what's coming out, as well as so that we can just enjoy the game of tennis that we love so much more without having to worry about injury from our gear. And as always, take care.